And we are back, folks. Aye. So, I said I would do some fish cakes. I'm not in the competition, I'm not in the Sergeant Fury Toes and Mrs Tracy's challenge competition. But I thought I'd make some fish cakes. How I make my fish cakes. So here's what I'm going to be using. Some dried parsley, Dijon mustard, lemon juice, salt, pepper. I've got some fresh breadcrumbs that I'm going to pop in the oven shortly to dry. I've got some breadcrumbs there already made, but I don't know if you can see them, but there's not that many in the bag. I've got some cheese grated. My fish cakes are going to have a fondant cheese centre, so when you cut your fish cake open, lovely creamy cheese filling will pour it. And my fish cakes are smoked haddock. I've got my smoked haddock fillets poaching in milk, and the milk will become infused with the smoky fish flavour. That will be going into the cheese sauce for the fondant. I've got my potatoes on to boil. So that's about all that's happening now, folks. And I'll get back to you when I'm doing something. Right? The old camera's gone mental. Aye, I'll get back to you when I'm doing something interesting. I thought I might as well show you the breadcrumbs. That's my cheese for my fondant filling. So there's my breadcrumbs in the halogen, in the trusty halogen oven. Hope you can see them. On really low. Really low. I just want to dry them out. So aye, here's my fish again, poaching in the milk. Torties are boiling. That's what I'm going to be using. Bit of flour as well. I'll probably whisk up an egg, maybe 2 eggs. So I'll get back to you. Right folks, we're back again. Potatoes are still boiling, but my smoked haddock looks ready. And I'm going to say, I just watched a wee 2 minutes of Mrs Tracy's video, and I'm not a happy chappy. It doesn't seem to be as if there's any fish whatsoever in her fish cakes. It's all crustacean, prawns, crab, you name it. So, I don't know, Mrs Tracy, not looking good for you. So there's my breadcrumbs are ready. They're lovely and crisp and lovely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drain my fish into a bowl. Aye. So get a bowl and a sieve. There's our bowl and our sieve situated here. Sieve, bowl. Right. I'll get you zoomed out a wee bit. And all I'm going to do is, I'll move my cheese. All I'm going to do here is pour the pan with the fish and milk into the bowl, but keeping the milk for my fondant cheese filling. And this, I could drink that milk straight from that pot as a fishy milk drink. Right, so there's my fish done. I'm going to scrape this out of here because that's all pure flavour. That's getting in. That's getting in. Where's my lifter? Make sure you get all the milk in there. Aye, not happy, Mrs Tracy. I've been expecting hella good stuff, but you're just repeating a crab cake again. And I'm sure Two-Tier Toes, also known as Fury Toes, I'm sure he'll pick up on that. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he picks up on that situation. Because I'm not happy chappy with that at all. Not at all. I'm going to get another bowl just to rest that sieve on while I scrape this pan into the milk. Oh, come on, he's a break. Let's come down. I'm going to put a wee bit of milk back in here just to scrape all this flavour, because that's all going to be getting into my cheese sauce, all that lovely fish flavour. I know Mrs Tracy doesn't like fish, so maybe it was a bit daft of ours to involve her in a fish cake challenge, but who am I to dispute the almighty Fury Toes? I'm just a pleb. I'm just a general pleb. I'm just the third leg of the stool. worry about any wee fishy lumps. They can get whisked, and I don't even care if they're still lumpy in the centre, because that's fish flavour. I don't care. Right, back in with that. We've got most of it out of there. Still a few wee bits. I want all that in there. All that flavour. That's pure flavour. Right, that's what. So that's where fish cooked. That's where milk, where fishy milk, for our cheese fondant sauce. There's my smoked haddock. Lovely smoked haddock fillets there, absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, if you could smell these. Absolutely beautiful smoked haddock fillets. Hopefully you can see. A bit of light there. Hopefully you can see. So aye, not amused so far, Mrs Tracy. Had a wee look at your chilli jam. Your chilli jam looked bloody lovely. I might actually give that a bash myself, because I do like a bit of sweet chilli sauce and sweet chilli jam quite type of stuff. I love all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to leave these folks and get back to you when it's potato mashing time. Right folks, we're back again. Potatoes are boiled. So I'm going to drain off the tatties and get them mashed up for the fish cakes. Right, use a wee switch, turn that off. This is very stressful. I've just seen this 2 minutes of the starter Fury Toes, and he's using smoked haddock, same as me. He's going about, I think he's going to go about it differently for me. I'm very classical and traditional the way I cook my fish cakes, but interesting to see what Sars does. So let's get our potatoes mashed. What we'll do is, I'll get a wee pot here. Get a wee pot and I can raise you up. You raise me up to something, something, something. Hope you can see a wee bit darker over this neck of the woods. Might be a wee bit better. Might be a wee bit of shadow, but who knows, who cares? We're going to do this anyway. Right, got our masher. There's a wee tip to mashing potatoes is to mash them on the hob while there's still heat on the hob. That way you get rid of any moisture left in your potatoes. I've got a tiny wee, I've got a full tub of butter here, but I'm looking for the one that I've opened so I can finish it off. Where is it? Where's the butter? Come on, man. You should have all this prepared. You should have all this prepared for first. There we go. Right, and we're just going to use a wee tiny touch of butter. A wee tiny bit, not a lot at all. There's my spoon there. Because you don't want your potatoes to be too kind of wet. And butter, melted butter will make them wet. We've got a bit of butter there. Give it a wee whiten. Get that wee bit off the spoon. And we're going to go in with a wee bit of white pepper. A wee touch of white pepper. That's too much, so we'll put the whole lot in. A wee touch of salt. Always season your food. A wee touch of salt. Not too much, because smoked haddock can be quite salty. And as I say, smoked haddock is my favourite fish. We're also going to go in with a wee bit of dry parsley. Just a wee touch of dry parsley, not much. Just to add some nice wee green flecks of colour. Right, gives a wee swatch at that. Right. And it's just a case of mashing. So as I say, mash your potatoes on the hob. Mash them on the hob. That wee bit of residual heat for your cooker or whatever will dry your potatoes off even more, so you're getting rid of lots of moisture. And you want to give these a good mash, a really good mash. And I'm going to put a wee touch of cream in, but I don't think I'm going to bother. think I'm going to bother. So I'm hoping I should get what? Hopefully I should get maybe, I was hoping for 4, but I don't think I've boiled enough potatoes. So I'll be happy if I get 2 nice big fish cakes out of this. And I can keep the rest of the haddock and just have it on toast. At some point, lovely smoked haddock on toast with lots of butter is bloody beautiful. Right, that's where potatoes pretty much mashed. Now you see a wee bit of steam there, that wee bit of steam's the wee bit of moisture coming out. Always mash on the hob. Give them a right good mashing. Don't want any lumps. Right, and that's all she wrote for the mash. Right, that's where potatoes mashed. Hope you can see that. Hope you can see that. That's where potato mashed, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to let that cool. Let it cool to room temperature. Let it cool right down to room temperature. But what we'll do in the meantime is we'll flake our fish up. So I'll move these back over here, get the light situated nicely, get my wee cheek lamp situated nicely, get a nice clean bowl. So our breadcrumbs are ready, they're still in the oven. The oven's off, so they're just drying it nicely. And I'll see how much of this fish I'm going to need. So I'll get yous moved over here. Right, there's our bowl. So just lift your, it's already breaking up nicely, and just break up your haddock. Just break it up gently. You don't want to mush it, we're not wanting to mush things up. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Smell, I love the smell of smoked haddock. Just gently break it up into flakes. Try and flake it into flakes. Any bits that you think are too big, just give them a wee break up. So I'm not going to use all this. I've got one big fillet there, I think I'll keep that and I'll stick that in the frying pan tomorrow and have that with toast, maybe with a poached egg. Absolute classic way of having it. With a poached egg on top. Another wee bit there. Just flake it up nice and gently into nice wee flaky bits. I'll use that bit. I don't know if I'm going to use this other, but I've got two nice fillets left. I'm not sure how much potato have I got there. Right, we'll go with another fillet. We'll go with this other fillet. Don't worry about this. These white bits, that's just the juice for the fish. Get that in there. Get that in there. That's all pure flavour. Pure unctuous haddock flavour. And Sarge was saying you could only get the dyed haddock, and I've got the dyed haddock as well. Dyed haddock is just as good. Ideally, you want an Arbroath smoky. That's the best smoked haddock you can get. But I'd have had to have travelled into town, and I can't try to get parked in the town. I'm not paying any money to get parked outside a shop. Parking's an absolute joke these days. The government just rips the arse out it. Everybody rips the arse out everything these days. They just want money off people left, right and centre. So I'm not having any of that. Right, so that's all I'm going to use, I think. You see, I've got, look, here's a wee swatch. So that's what I've used so far, right? That's plenty really. But we've got this one left. I might, as I say, I might just fry that up tomorrow and have that for my breakfast. Put that in the fridge. So I think that's actually plenty of fish. I think that's actually plenty. And what we'll do is, wee stringy elasticy bit there. I'll give my wee handy pandies a wee clean. Once the mashed potatoes ready, that will go in there. So what I'll do is, I'll wait and see what it looks like when I've added the mash. And if I think I need more fish, I can add more fish. So I'll leave you there, folks, and I'll get back to you when the potatoes cool. I'll get back to you when, there's the bit I've got left. When the potatoes cool, and I'm actually making up the fish cakes, I'll get back to you, right? Hopefully this will be a nice wee quick video. Right folks, we're back again. I forgot I've got to make my fondant sauce for my fish cakes. So you might as well get on with that just now. So on the pan, I've got some butter melting. Let that melt, and then I'm going to add the same amount in flour. So that's about a tablespoon of butter to about a tablespoon of flour. It's that simple. Right, that's with flour in. Touching the flour maybe. Right, that's with flour in. So once that's melted, I'll get my fishy milk, which is, remember, the milk that the fish was poached in. It's sitting there. You can see that. That'll be going in once the butter's melted, and then we'll get in with the whisk. Keep losing things. Where's my spoon? Took a spoon 2 seconds ago, literally 2 that's there, it's in the pot. Right, we'll just get that mixed up. What we're making here's a roux. It's just called a roux. Basically you're melting butter and flour, like cooking out the flour a wee bit before you add the rest of your ingredients. What's also going to get in there is a teaspoon of Dijon mustard and some lemon juice and some dried parsley. Nothing else. I'll give you a wee swatch. I've mixed up my smoked haddock and mashed potato. That's situated there. I think we'll get roughly 2 or 3 fish cakes, hopefully. See what happens, maybe you can get 4, you never know. You never can tell. I should maybe have mashed, boiled more potatoes. But there we go, it's done now. This is just to show folk how I make my fish cakes. Right, so keep stirring that. When it starts to go kind of brown colour, you know you're getting to the right track, you're on the right track. And this cheese fondant, this fondant cheese is going to be in the centre of my fish cakes. I might use a piping bag, I might just use a spoon, see what happens. It's going to be in the centre, so when you cut your fish cake open, you get a lovely mustardy, lemony, and remember the milk had the fish poached in it, so it's also going to have a nice wee fishy buzz to it. Right, that's perfect. Get any wee bits off the spoon, don't want to waste anything. Right, what we're going to do now is get in with my milk. It's also going to be cheese going in, obviously. I've got more milk sitting waiting in case we need a wee bit extra milk to go in. It might go lumpy, don't worry if it goes lumpy at the start, it usually does, but the lumps will whisk out. I'll get the old heat turned up a wee bit. We want this to be quite thick. I want this to be quite a thick fondant sauce. Get any wee bits of that flour and butter for the sides. It's already started to thicken up. So I can tell just by looking at this we might need a wee bit more milk. Just a wee bit. So what I'm going to do now is get in me a wee bit of salt. Even though the cheese is going in, cheese is going to be salty. You want a wee touch of salt. Come out of there, you bugger. Wee bit of salt in there. You need to let the potatoes and the fish cool down anyway. You want everything at room temperature at least. And then when I make the cakes up, I'll probably put them in the fridge for a wee while or in the freezer. Then I'll get the breadcrumb on, get them dipped in egg, flour egg, breadcrumb, and then probably back in the freezer for a wee 20 minutes maybe. Right, what we're going to do now is get in with some Dijon mustard. A fresh tin, a fresh jar of Dijon mustard, a nice teaspoon of Dijon mustard. So that's going in. Get all that in there. Don't want to waste anything. Hate wastage. I literally hate wastage. Because that fish was poached in the milk, it's going to be lovely, lovely smoky fish flavour through the whole fondant filling. Right, you can see that sticking up. I hope you can see that sticking up there. So what we'll do now is we'll get in with a bit of lemon juice. I've got a fresh lemon there, but I actually prefer using these bottles of stuff. So in with a wee squeeze of lemon juice in there. Just keep whisking. If you feel you need to take it off the heat, take it off the heat. If you feel you need to. I might actually no need to use, I might because I've still got the cheese to add. So we're going to get the cheese in next. Get our cheese in. So there's two types of cheese. There's a bit of Gran Padano. In fact there's three types. A bit of Gran Padano, a wee bit of Parmesan, and some Scottish cheddar. Some beautiful Scottish white cheddar cheese. Absolutely bloody gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. I'm just going to whisk that, let that cheese melt in. I might need to add a wee touch of extra milk, possibly. But you can see that's a beautiful silky cheese sauce. I'm going to leave that off the heat for a wee second. I'm going to get in with some just dried parsley. Say about half a teaspoon, maybe even a teaspoon of dried parsley. Gives it some lovely colour and a bit of flavour. And that, my friends, is our fondant cheese filling done. How long did that take? That didn't take long. And that, believe me when I tell you, that smells amazing. Add some milk. I'm wondering, I actually think that's perfect thickness. So we're not going to add any milk, and we're going to call that jobs a good one for the fondant cheese filling. And if I've got too much of it, if I've made extra, I can boil up a bit of pasta and have any left with a bit of pasta and maybe even a bit of haddock that's left. See? Always thinking ahead. Right folks, That's for fondant cheese sauce, lovely and thick, creamy, cheesy, fishy, mustardy. I'll get back to yous. Aye. Right folks, we're back yet again. We're watching a bit of Fury Toes in action again there. These fish cakes are looking pretty good, different from mine, but pretty good. So it's time to see what we can do here. So what I've done here is, let me open this floral. So I'm going to serve most of this bag off because it's quite annoying. Right. So what I've done here is, I've got an old, say old, it's still got sellotape on it. I've got a sellotape roll here. I've got a freezer bag that I've opened up and sliced open both sides with a knife. And we're going to use this as a mould. Aye. I like my fish cakes to be nice and uniform. Nice and uniform. Hope you can see what's going on here. So what we're going to do is, pardon me, I've got a jar of mustard here. You can use it, I'm using English mustard. You can use any jar because we're just going to use it as a wee press. So what I'm going to do first is just get a wee bit of flour on my fingers and just wallop a wee bit of dust. Wee gentle dusting of flour. And I'll put a wee gentle dusting of flour on the top. Right, we're going to get in with a spoon. Hope this works. This is just a wee idea I had. Just a wee idea I had. So we're going to get in with the spoon and we're going to spoon in. Try not to drop it all over the place. We're going to spoon in our potato and smoked haddock mixture. I'm going to go with 2 big spoonfuls. 2 big spoonfuls, right? Another wee bit. And that's about full, right? And we're going to fold this side over. And we're going to press down with said mustard and see what that does. See if we can get a nice shape. The mustard isn't the exact same size, so you just need to work your way around. But I'm hoping it's not too bad. I like to use my ingenuity. I like to use my wee ingenious side to do things. So that might be too thin. I see, I think that might be too thin. I'm going to add another wee tablespoon. Just get it in there. Another wee tablespoon. Remember, I've got to poke a wee hole in this at some point to get our fondant filling in. A wee sprinkling of flour, tiny wee sprinkling of flour, and press down gently again. I say gently, I'm using a wee bit of force. Using a wee bit of force. Make sure you're getting all the edges. So what I'll do is I'll probably do one, and then I'll do the rest off cam. And then when I get back to these, I'll be getting them breadcrumbed up, getting them dipped in egg and breadcrumbed up. Let me have a wee swatch at that. Right, so for me, will it lift out? It lifts out perfect. So let's have a wee gander. Right, look at that. Here's a wee swatch at that. I hope you can see. Hope it's not all blurred and out of focus. It more than likely is all blurred and out of focus. But it's the best I can do, folks, with my shady camera work. But there we go. That might even be too thick. But we'll leave it as it is. We'll leave that as is. I'm quite happy with that for a shape. we'll get it back in the mould if I can. I shouldn't have probably took it out the mould. We'll get it back in the mould. Get back in there, buddy. Come on, get back in there for me. There we go, we're back in the mould. I'll get another wee press down again. As I say, this was just a wee idea that I had for getting nice uniform size. I say I might have went a wee bit too big there. I might have went a wee bit too big. So what we're going to do now, is we're going to make a wee hole, right? And create a wee crevice inside. Don't be worried about bits of potato coming up. Don't be worried about that. Don't be worried at all. Move your finger round. Just so you're creating a nice wee crevice for the fondant cheese sauce to go in. Don't go all the way to the bottom. Don't go all the way to the bottom. I'm just wanting to create a nice wee crevice to fill. Right, I'll use a wee swatch. Right, so that's our wee crevice. We've created a wee crevice in there, right? So what I was actually going to use a piping bag for this, but I think I'm going to risk it and just go with a teaspoon. I think we can manage with a teaspoon. So our cheese sauce, our fondant cheese fishy sauce that was made with the milk for the poached smoked fish, and cheese, lemon juice, parsley. I might make that just a wee bit wider just so I can. What we can do is as well, we can add a wee bit of potato to the top if we need to, just to fill any gaps. So in with some fondant filling. That's lovely. Get a wee, don't know if I can get a wee mess down with my pinky. Aye, there we go. Don't be afraid to lick the glove. I think we'll get 1.5 to 2 nice teaspoons of this fondant filling in there. And use the other end. Absolutely lovely. No joking, this fondant centre is absolutely beautiful. You can taste the smoky fish flavour. Right, that's about perfect. Right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to block that hole up with a bit of potato and fish. Like that, just like that. Right? This will be a miracle if this works, by the way. Right, I'm going to get another dusting of flour on the top. I'm going to fold that over. And we're going to get back in with the mustard jar and just give that a wee light press. A nice wee light press. If this works, I'll be amazed. If this works, I will be absolutely amazed and overjoyed at the same time. We're in a wee circular motion now. This is going to be a big fish cake. This is going to be one meaty fish cake. I'm going to be deep frying these for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to be getting them in the oven for about 15 minutes. Right, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get a plate. going to get a plate and I'm going to give this plate a wee dusting of flour. Just a nice light dusting of flour. Because we don't want any stickage. Right, I'll give that a wee dusting of flour. You probably can't see that. And hopefully this will just lift out, he says. Right, here we go, we're lifting out. There we go, that's looking pretty good. I'll give you a wee look at that. That's looking pretty good. Maybe a bit thick, but I like a thick fish cake, to be honest. Getting flour all over my camera. Right, so that's one done. So what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to do the rest off cam and I'll get back to you. I'm going to give that a wee tidy up. That's looking absolutely gorgeous. Right folks, I'm going to give a wee look at that again. It's probably out of focus and all other place, but hey ho. So I'm going to do another, I think I should get maybe 4 and I'll get back to you. Right folks, I've managed to get 4, hope you can see them, 4 really lovely chunky fish cakes with fondant cheese filling. I've got loads of cheese filling left, so what I'm going to do with that is I'll stick that in the fridge and I'll probably have that with pasta and maybe the last fillet of smoked haddock that's in the fridge, and that'll be another lovely wee dish. That fondant filling is absolutely bloody beautiful. So we've got 4 lovely fish cakes. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to stick them in the freezer for about 15 minutes, then we'll get them dipped in egg, breadcrumbed up, deep fried and put in the oven. I might refrigerate them for a wee while first, so I'll get back to you. Aye. Right folks, we're back again. I've got the eggs whisked up with a bit of fork action. I've got my breadcrumbs sitting waiting here. They're homemade breadcrumbs, by the way, none of this shop bought garbage that some folk are into. So I just finished watching Salgy's fish cakes and I'm not going to lie, they look bloody lovely. His presentation was lovely, his sauce was lovely, everything looked lovely. So now it's time for me. I'm not in the challenge, let's get that straight, I'm not in the challenge, I'm just doing my own thing. I've got to say Mrs Tracy's looked lovely as well, but hers contained no fish in whatsoever. Hers were all crustaceans, crab, prawns. So I've gave Sarge the win. I don't know how everybody else thinks, but for me, Sarge got the win. Right, so let's get these fish cakes sorted. They'll be in the freezer chilling out. I'm going to breadcrumb one. I'll get one finished, and then I'm going to turn these off. I'll do the rest. I'm going to bung them in the freezer for another 15 minutes. Then we'll get frying them up and get them in the oven. Got a bit of salad. I'm going to knock up a quick dressing, bit of virgin olive oil, a bit of lemon juice, bit of gherkin somewhere along the line, and I've got a wee bit of tartar sauce kicking about somewhere. I'll get a wee bit of that. I've got to have tartar sauce. So get back to these. In fact, I'm not going to get back to these. I'm going to do it right now. What am I talking about? Talking gibberish here. Absolute gibberish. Right, so here's my fish cakes. These are a wee swatch. Here's mine. As I say, I'm going to do one egg breadcrumb and on the plate, and then I'm going to turn these off, get the 4 of them back in the freezer. Pardon me, when I come back to these, it'll be cook up time. And of course it's stuck to the plate, that's always handy. That's beautiful. And even that, I floured the plate, you know what I mean? So we'll need to get into it with the old lifter. Bit of lifter action. We're sorted. We're sorted. We're back in business. So there you go. should probably dust them with flour first. So we'll give them a wee dust with flour. A wee dust with flour. Up where the egg sticks. Just a gentle wee dusting with flour. We'll get another plate. We'll get another plate now. Right, we've got another plate. Another plate to hand. Keep the old lifter just in case I need to scrape more off the plate. Right. So firstly we'll go in with the egg. Get my breadcrumbs moved over here. Hope you can see everything. Move these back a wee bit. Right. Going to give that a wee roll about in the flour. Right, in with the egg, we'll get the sides dipped first, and then the bottom, the top, and then into the crumb. Trip me all over the place here. These breadcrumbs might actually be a wee bit too chunky for this job. I should maybe have crushed them up a wee bit, but we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Getting breadcrumbs all over the place. Let's no panic just yet. As I say, we'll get these back in the freezer as soon as I've got them crumbed up. Right, so that's that one crumbed up. That'll do it. I'm quite happy with that. Get that on the old plate. Going to give my hands a wee wipey. I'm half tempted to double dip, but I'm not going to double dip because that could get me into a world of hurt. So I'm going to pause these here, folks. I'm going to give that a wee wipe. That wee bit of egg's annoying me. See this wee bit of egg here? That's annoying me. Give all that a wee gentle press down. As I say, they'll be going back into the freezer for a wee while to chill out for another maybe 15 minutes. So when I get back to these folks, the four of them will have been egged and breadcrumbed. Right, I'll get back to these. Right folks, we're back. That's where fish cake's crumbed. That's where fish cake's crumbed. They look pretty good to me. Lovely. Look at the height on them. Absolutely lovely. Let me give that wee bit of crumb, a wee bit of press in. I'm going to get these back in the freezer. Back in the freezer for about 15 minutes. This is going to be another long video again. So back in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Vis-a-vis 360. When I get back to you, it'll be cook up time, hopefully. Right, we're back again quickly. Just going to knock up a quick wee dressing for my salad leaves. It's a mixture of virgin olive oil and some lemon juice. Really easy and simple, but really nice. Bit of lemon juice on there. You could add salt and pepper if you feel the need. I don't feel the need. Get it a wee clean. Get the lid on the wee jar there. And that is a lovely wee dressing for my salad leaves that I'll be serving my fish cakes on. There you go. Could add herbs to that, you could add anything to that. But lemon juice and virgin olive oil is all you need. Trust me. So So there you go, lovely quick wee salad dressing, no hassle. I'll get back to these. So this might, I don't like saying this, but this might be a two-parter. We'll see. Right folks, we're back. It's time to get a bit of frying on the go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry up, deep fry one fish cake. I'm going to stick the rest in the fridge and fry them up tomorrow. You only need to see one fish cake, you don't need to see 4 fish cakes being fried up. Right, my wee salad dressing for my wee bit of salad. I've got some pickles chopped up for a wee bit of pickleage and a wee shot glass of tartar sauce. So let's do this. So my fish cakes have been in the freezer for about 25 minutes, maybe a wee bit longer. I'll give you a wee look at my fish cakes. So there's my fish cakes. I think you'll agree they look bloody lovely. So let's just hope the fondant cheese centre doesn't burst open and make a total mess. I'll give that a wee press. And we're going to get these in the fryer. Get one in the fryer, sorry. Don't know how I'm going to get it back out the fryer, but we'll do our best. And I'm not going to bother putting them in the oven. I think 5 minutes in the fryer will be plenty good enough. Plenty good enough. I didn't even get any room in my fridge. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick these back in the freezer and I'll need to arrange some room in the fridge. I'm going to give them 5 minutes. Okay, this 5 minutes. While I'm waiting on that, I'm going to get my wee bit of salad ready. I'm just going to dress my wee bit of salad. There's my wee bit of salad there. I'm going to dress that up with my... Hope this isn't going to be a total catastrophe. Just going to dress that over. That's just lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil. And we'll just give that a wee toss. Just a nice wee toss. That's all that needs. That's all it needs. Absolutely lovely. And I'm going to serve my fish cake on this wee bed of salad. So I'm going to put a wee clump of salad leaves in the middle of the plate. Hopefully my battery stays, hopefully my phone doesn't run out of power shortly because it's getting low. Right, in the centre of the plate. That's plenty. That's plenty. Get that back in the, oops. Get that salad back in the fridge, give my hand a wee wash. Is it nice? I say, God only knows how I'm going to get it in the fryer. I've got this my big spoon sitting waiting. So that'll help me. I'll use a wee swatch in the, there's my wee bed of lettuce, my wee bed of salad with a wee bit of dressing. The fish cake's in there cooking away. I'll finish off my wee bit of garnish. And what I'm going to do is I love gherkins. I'm going to put a wee bit of gherkin on each corner of the plate. Just as a wee something extra. Just as a wee something extra. I love gherkins. I love gherkins with anything. Just as a wee kind of extra garnishy type job. Don't really need it, but we're going for it. So that's for a wee bit of gherkin garnish. Right, I'm going to get back to you when that's ready because I don't want my phone to die. Right folks, that's our fish cake just about ready. So I'm going to attempt to get it out of the fryer. I'm going to use this big spoon. Use the big spoon. I was going to tong it, but I might crush it. So I'm just going to kind of bounce it. There we go. I see, I'm not going to bother putting it in the oven. I'm just going to let it drain a wee second on this wee steel plate. That's absolutely gorgeous. I'll give you a wee look. Get the fryer. I managed to get the rest of the fish cakes in the fridge. So there's my fish cake. It's a wee bit of shadow for the fryer handle there. So we'll get it on the plate. Get rid of all this. I've got a wee bit of, I've no chives. I didn't think ahead, I've no chives, I've got a wee bit of spring onion. So we'll see what we can do. And there we go. There we go, that's my fish cake. I'm going to put a wee bit of chive on top. No chive, a wee bit of spring onion. Doesn't really need it, to be honest, because it looks bloody gorgeous. Totally different style for Sarge, but I think you'll agree just as lovely. Rid of this. The fryer's off. Get the lid on the fryer. And I'm actually really happy with that, how that looks. I'm really happy with how that looks. I'll give you a wee look. There you go, so that's my fish cake with fondant cheese filling. So I'm going to stop these now. I'm going to take a wee picture and I'll make another wee video of me cutting it open. Right? I know you want to see the lovely cheesy filling coming out. Get another wee look at that, lovely golden colour, absolutely gorgeous. Wee bit of tartar sauce on the side. Here's a wee look from above. Absolutely gorgeous. Right folks, I'm going to stop you here and I'll make another wee video of me cutting it open.